The well-being industry is booming.
More people seek alternative ways to cope with rising obesity, stress and depression.
Stress levels have been getting heavier and heavier. I don't understand why I'm so stressed and I can't switch off.
Heading for a retreat on an island in the South China Sea, Nick Knowles joins a group who are all seeking the antidote for the strains of modern life.
Of course, this place down in Thailand says it can actually change your head around, change your inner space around.
How will the gang cope with a completely new way of living?
I think that some of the participants didn't really know what they were getting into.
It's almost cultish.
I think it's going to be a challenge.
Will 28 days of detox and alternative therapies be enough to change their lives?
I don't think anyone will be surprised to find out I'm the least likely person to be taking on this challenge.
This is one kick-ass detox.
Welcome to Thailand.
I'm just so fed up with my eyes ripping every night since I've been here, and I don't know why they're so bad, and I'm wondering if it's because there's not much humidity here. Anyways, just feeling really fed up. But I'm excited because I'm going to the osteopath in about half an hour, and I hear he's brilliant, and really hoping he can pinpoint why my body isn't healing itself the way it should.
The gang are going to be subjected to more invasive physical therapies for about a week. First up is Oren, the retreat's osteopath.
I deal with anatomy and physiology and mechanics.
Already, Nick looks less than impressed.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to check your body, because all of you know that you have pain in all kind of area of the body. Lower back, neck, shoulder. I'm very interested about the source of your pain. And through the knowledge of anatomy and physiology, I'm going to like an exploration to try to understand where your pain is originating.
There has been a lot wrong with me for a long time in terms of physical well-being, and so I use physios quite a lot. And I've always found that sports physios are the best because they just get everything working again. But they don't, they never say they're going to cure me of the problem because it's an ongoing problem that I have from injuries. Whereas here, more interestingly, he's saying he can get on top of this by actually finding the root cause.
This is sensitive here?
Yeah.
Yes. And here?
Not so much.
Okay.
If I can walk away from, this experience without actually having to see a physio every week because of the damage that I've got done to me, then that will be absolutely fabulous. When he was doing manipulations, or said he was doing manipulations, there appeared to be no movement or manipulation going on at all. By the same token, it did feel better after than before.
Stretch the lower leg. It's painful?
No.
It's not painful.
I'm not sure, for example, if I was to press you on your shoulder blade now and say, does that feel better, then you'd say yes. I can't honestly say whether he's pressing me as hard the second time in those places the first time. So the only way of knowing whether that's actually worked or not is over the next few days, the next couple of days, whether I feel better.
You feel it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. He's unpredictable.
Exactly the middle here.
He doesn't respond in the way that you would expect. I still feel the tension and the pain in the low back. It's been a long-term problem, and I'd be very surprised if that got solved in one session.
With Nick and Laura still unsure of Oren's effectiveness, April sees him with her chronic eye condition.
The top of my eye is no longer properly adhered to the rest of the eye. I have severe dry eye, and I have recurrent corneal erosion. What happens to me is when I go to bed at night, within about 30 minutes, my eyeballs are glued shut. Sometimes both eyes, sometimes one eye. Is it when I open my eyes, pieces of the epithelial layer are pulled off, and I'm in absolute agony.
You see, because I want to release all the orbit area.
It was absolutely incredible because the response in my body was so profound. And I could feel like energy moving through areas that I think had been blocked previously. I feel much more in alignment. I feel much more balanced on my left and right sides. Absolutely. And it's going to be really interesting to do yoga because my right hip is always really, really jammed. But he's just loosened that all up. I'm excited. Well, time will tell, right?
Over the next few days, the gang are now rotating between Luke and deeper sessions with Oren.
About 5.5 years ago, I had sudden hearing loss.
2 days later, we went away on holiday. It got progressively worse, and even by doing that, I could not clear it. And then from then, I had no hearing on that side. It's quite confusing when he puts his hand in your mouth, and then all of a sudden, something else is less painful, and certainly up round this area. And if he can do anything, even if he can restore just a small amount, you know, but we'll see.
The rest of the gang are equally confused by Oren's unusual methods.
He's a chap that I don't think one could really describe. He was very much enthralled about my vertebra that he fixed by inserting a finger in my ear. So I'm not sure. I'm feeling better. It seemed to have worked. Whatever he touched and moved, the pain moved, and then it disappeared. He's great.
Breathe in.
Yes.
Very good. Yeah, very strange. Like I say, especially like when he'd go to a point and he would dig his finger in and it would really hurt. Especially when he done that one on my knee, because I almost jumped off the table. But then he goes back to it after he's done his thing and it's just gone.
Well, first of all, I was very apprehensive because I've heard what other people have been through. It sometimes really, really hurts. That's where I felt a bit tense sometimes when Oren was trying things, but when I learned to relax with him and trust him, I found it really, really good.
That was an experience, man. I thought maybe he was pressing on pressure points or something like that, but actual pain and tension is at this time is gone. It's amazing. What can I say? I came here to do was get, I don't think it's a cliche, but you know, the mind, body and soul kind of balance. And yeah, I'm feeling it every day, mate. Every day, and look at this. What a place to do it in, you know? So, yeah.
After their previous session, Maggie meets with Oren for a catch-up and has some incredible news.
Hi, Maggie.
Hi.
How did you feel after the last treatment? What happened? How did you feel?
The following day, quite sore in places because I know you had to do quite a lot of, you know, movement, etc. I didn't notice it at first, but I think over the last week or so, the perception is the hearing on this side. It's not monumentally better, but I think, you know, I seem to be able to hear a little better. But, you know, it's one of those things, you know, it sounds a lot clearer, both with my hearing aid in and also with it out.
I will check it also. Okay, good. So let's start.
Okay.
Kathy, feeling frustrated by her own journey, takes solace in Milton's, and a nice sunset will always lift your spirits. Next time on The Retreat.
We've given up sugar, caffeine, alcohol, meat, dairy, wheat.
Proud owner of my first juice.
I just had this epiphany. I'd let you down.
I cried last night, woke up crying.
I just had a very, very strange experience.
I'm not really an emotional person.
Before attempting any of the detox techniques or practices demonstrated in the retreat, you are advised to seek out your doctor's advice.